In recent episodes of the Insider Trading cartoon series, we've talked about the classical theory of liability, as well as potential liability for corporate officers and temporary insiders. Now let's talk about temporary insiders who are not independent contractors. For now, we'll call them very temporary insiders. So here we have two buddies, Mr. Red, the CEO of AlphaCo, and Mr. Blue, the CEO of BetaCo. Mr. Red and Mr. Blue talk about each other's businesses a lot. Mr. Blue serves on AlphaCo's board. Both of them understand the proprietary nature of sensitive corporate information. One day, Mr. Blue asks Mr. Red if he would consider advising BetaCo on a proposed joint venture between BetaCo and a third company, GammaCo. Though he understands the information is confidential, Mr. Red doesn't agree to keep the information secret or not to buy BetaCo shares. Shortly after their meeting, Mr. Red does buy stock in BetaCo and then sells it at a profit after the Beta-Gamma joint venture is announced. To be liable for insider trading, Mr. Red has to be considered a temporary insider of BetaCo and to have breached a fiduciary duty to that company and its shareholders. Is Mr. Red liable? Well, in Dirks v. SEC in 1983, the Supreme Court said that for Mr. Red to have a fiduciary duty to BetaCo, two things have to happen. One, BetaCo must expect Mr. Red to keep the information confidential, and two, the relationship must at least imply such a duty. Here, the first condition is covered. BetaCo, in the form of Mr. Blue, expected Mr. Red to keep his mouth shut and not to buy BetaCo shares. But did the relationship between Mr. Red and BetaCo imply a fiduciary duty running from Mr. Red to that company? Arguably not, and a number of courts have held that merely giving up information with the hope of confidentiality is not enough to imply the duty that Dirks requires. So let's say instead of just having Mr. Blue deliver the information about the Beta-Gamma joint venture, Blue says, "Look, Mr. Red, we're pals and all, and I want to give you some information about BetaCo. But I need to have you agree not to tell anybody, and I mean anybody, and not to trade in BetaCo's shares. It's really important." And Mr. Red says, "I got it, Blue. I promise not to tell anybody and not to trade in BetaCo." Now we have a different situation, and if he makes trades in BetaCo, Mr. Red is probably stuck. Mr. Blue expected him to keep the joint venture information secret and not to trade, and Mr. Red agreed to both conditions. In fact, the SEC has said in Rule 10b-5-2b-1 that a duty of trust or confidence exists when a person agrees to maintain information in confidence. So if Mr. Blue wants to bring Mr. Red into the BetaCo tent, he should make Mr. Red agree to keep his cake hole shut and not to trade. Maybe get that agreement in writing. Many similar situations are resolved this way and hinge on whether the trader actually agreed to keep quiet and not to trade. We'll talk about more variations on this theme in later episodes.